What's cracking, guys? Matric here. Nice and easy one today. It's Australia Day weekend, so we're just going to get this one done so we can kick back and relax and enjoy that top 100 and, well, just enjoy the extra long weekend. Right, yeah, so what we got today is a nice little package from Tony over at Pro Spec Imports. What I have is a shift boot and a handbrake boot. They are really nice quality items. He's put a lot of effort into it. If you haven't checked out Tony, go and have a look at Pro Spec Imports on their website. He does do a majority of super stuff. Along the way I've seen him do some 86 stuff, and he's slowly starting to get into that GDR side of it now, so keep an eye out on that. But the products that he does produce, they're high quality. There's a lot of options, so what I end up going with was the Stealth. So it's all blacked out, and he ranges from reds to whites to slightly different logos and stuff like that. As I said, it is just a nice little quick install today, but it will make a great deal of difference. As you can see, my old shift boot has seen better days. It's starting to fall apart and flake. One thing I am having trouble with is the shift knobs for the Toyota Supras. Well, I've got because of the V161 in it. It's got the reverse lockout collar that actually lifts up and goes into the knob. So it needs quite a large opening, and as you can see, mine is quite worn. Trying to track down a shift knob that'll suit, but that I don't really have to modify, I'm having a lot of difficulty with. So if anyone knows any guys that do produce a shift knob that sort of fits the V161s or the V160s, that'll be greatly appreciated. As far as I know, the handbrake boot is probably the easier one to do. It's just going to slip straight over. I have tried to put it over, and what I found was it's quite tight on there. So what I'll do is I'll just throw it out in the sun, and that'll give it a little bit of stretch, and it'll make installation of that a lot easier. And then there's a little bit more involved with the shift boot itself. We'll have to take off the center trimming, and underneath there's a little plastic plate that we'll have to get through and drill through it. I'll just quickly go throw this out in the sun and be back with you. As you can see, I'm quite a large guy, and getting in and out of these things isn't a joyful experience at some times. It doesn't help that I'm crammed up in the house yard, so we'll definitely work on cleaning out my shed in the next couple of weeks, just to give me an area to work back in, so I'm not using the oldies driveway. Nice and simple, been here, done this before, just a couple of clips. So as you can see, it's straight out, and up underneath you can see they've just got melted over tabs, so I'll go through and drill them out, and I'll end up trying to tap it and put a little set of bolts in it just to secure that locking ring again. Alright, just to make this a little bit easier, grab a screwdriver or a little pick seal and just give yourself a center punch mark in the middle of your plastic rings. It's probably a good idea to not do this in the car, go out and find yourself a bench, but in typical fashion I'll just get the biscuit. Yeah, so once you've centered them, I just want to go and grab the drill and try to keep it. I'm going with a slightly smaller drill bit at the moment. That'll hopefully lay the foundations for where I can tap into. What they do have is little tabs up underneath. So when they do this from the factory, what they actually do is they put the shift boot in, and it's got tabs. The ring collar will go over, and then pretty much what they do is just melt those plastic tabs down to make a cap over to hold it down secure. Perfectly fine for that. It makes it a lot harder to actually change the shift boot, not being able to just unclip like a lot of the modern day cars. step it up to a larger drill bit now to get rid of those tabs on top of the retaining ring. And as you can see, it chews through because it's only plastic. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. Just want to be careful that you don't actually go too far down into those plastic pins, because you want something to actually go into after. And you don't want to go through into your leg. With a lot of these, as you can see, like as I'm drilling into it, well, I hope you can see, it actually starts to lift the ring, so you know that you're actually knocking those securing tabs off. There we have it. Quite easy, a little tedious compared to other shift boots to do, but nonetheless you get the same results. What I'll actually do, give that a quick clean up. Rightio. So after pulling that retainer ring off and the boot out, I actually found that the newer models, so like this is a 96, the last one I did was a 93, they've actually got, instead of having like the little pillars in there that they had, they've got like a little cross, so I can't actually drill into it. So what I'll do is I'll actually take a little razor blade and I'll clean it off flush, and I'll just tap down into the actual surround itself. As you can see, it's got a fair bit of chunk there that I can play with. It'll allow me to drill a couple of little holes into and get a little Allen key headed bolt down in there. So I'll just shoot through real quick and clean all this up and drill those holes. Just a good point of attack too. If you're ever cutting anything, cut away from yourself. Don't cut back towards yourself, don't cut back towards your fingers. You'll end up with a couple of nasty cuts. Don't ask me how I know that. Right, now that we have that all trimmed up, what I'll do is I'll just take the retaining ring we took off earlier, throw it back on so it gives me a guide, and I'll just go through real quick and drill those little base holes down through it. As I said again, probably not smart to be doing it on my leg, but I'm just going nice and slow with that drill. Like the drill itself is actually down on one, and I'm just slowly chewing away. It's only plastic, so it's not hard to drill into. What I'll do is, before I actually put it all together, I'll just run through with the Allen key just to give those holes an actual thread, so I'm not trying to wind them threads in. As you can see, like, they go in quite easy, quite nicely. Alright, so they're all tapped out now. So what we want to do is just grab the boot, throw the boot in, and plumb the holes up, and throw the retainer on, throw the Allens in. I'll get to whacking that in, and then I'll show you what we've got. Nice. Ta-da! And there we have it, guys. All retained in, all nice and clipped up. So what we'll do is we'll throw it back in, tighten it down, and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the handbrake boot, so I went and grabbed it out of the sun, and as you can see, it is quite easy to install. It's just a matter of getting it down in between this trim here. So I pull it down over. Right, yeah, so there we go, guys. Nice, quick and easy, nothing flash, nothing too in-depth, but nevertheless a great product by Tony over at Pro Spec Imports. I'll leave his link to his website in the descriptions there, so if you want to go over and have a look. He's got some really nice carbon fibre parts as well, so I'll actually look at getting the AC controller unit off him in the upcoming days, and we'll fit that as well. So that's something to look forward to. Another thing that we're going to attack in the upcoming videos is this mess here. I'll show you a couple of little nice tricks on how we're going to repair that carpet. So if you like what you've seen, give us a like, comment and a subscribe, and I'll catch you all next week.